For unit content, they're going to be set up in a very similar manner. So this video should give you an overview of how to do each of these 2 units. When you look on the left-hand side, you'll see a button that says Unit Content, and that's where we are right now. You're going to click on the unit that you're in, and usually the date is available to you right here underneath the folder of the unit. So it should be easily accessible wherever, in terms of which unit you should be in, no matter where you are. So you click on the unit, and within that it gives you all of the content that you will need for each of those each of the material that you'll need for the unit. So the first folder is going to house any lectures or reading material that you will need for that unit. So for example, under this one you will have all of the content that you will need in terms of lecture material links, as well as the information about Mindset, the book that you're going to read within this section. There's an overview, a Unit 1 overview video, and then within each of these folders are the videos for the Part 1 and Part 2 of that particular unit. So in Part 1, which is about the communication process, you will have a link to my YouTube playlist for that particular topic, as well as individual links to each of the videos. The videos are almost always under 10 minutes, so you can break them up however you wish, or you can do them all in one sitting, and that's why I've provided that playlist for you. It makes it a little bit easier if you are going to do it in one sitting to just have it open to the playlist, because it'll go back to back. And it's your call however you choose to do it. Then the same thing for the Mindset videos, the playlist for the Mindset videos, as well as individual links to all those videos. Now again, choose how you want to address this in the most effective way for you. It's completely your call, but keep in mind that you will have to take notes for each of these videos, so keep that in mind. You may want to listen to them as you're driving and then come back to them and write notes as you are sitting down, and obviously not writing notes while you're driving. So that is the lecture material and how you access that for both of the units. Unit 2 will look identical to that. And then there's also the general PowerPoint, which doesn't have a lot of information, but it kind of can keep you on track. And I have quite a few people that like to open this up and use this as a note-taking device. So it's completely your call. It's going to take a while because there's a lot of images, but you can use this as a note-taking device, or you can just use it to follow along, whatever your preference might be, or you can ignore it. The Mindset book is labeled here. In this case, you are going to have 4 required chapters and 4 chapters that everybody's going to read, and then 1 that you can choose from a list. So you will have to read chapters 1, 2, and 3, as well as chapter 8, and then you'll want to pick one of these chapters, 4, 5, 6, or 7, that you think fits most with your preference or your interests, and then you can use that as your final chapter that you're going to use or read. So it shouldn't take you too long. It was a pretty easy book to read, and for me personally, this book was life-changing. It really gave me a new mindset. It allowed me to see things from a perspective I had never considered before. So please, please take an honest look at this book and read it with an open mind and see what you can discover about how you see the world, whether it be through sports or a business or your romantic or friendships, or as a parent or coach or what have you. So that's a little bit about the lectures and readings for each of these. Then you'll go to the film information. As you saw from the orientation, you are going to need to apply 1 film in each unit. So the film information I provided you here gives you links to each film, as well as kind of a trailer for each. And then if you want to purchase them or rent them on Amazon, I've got the links for those here. But you can also, like I said earlier, you can get this through through the library, your local library, and in some cases even through our library. And also you can access it using your financial aid through our bookstore if that's something that you want to do. So all the films should be laid out here for you, and it's the same in Unit 2. Now underneath Unit 1 assignments, you are going to see everything that you're required to do for the semester, for the unit. So first and foremost is the Unit 1 notes. You will need to take thorough notes for each video that you watch. You want to include what material you're reading. Now, it doesn't have to be word for word, just an overview, kind of an outline of the material, along with your own application or thoughts on the topic. Now, please make sure that when you do your own thoughts, you do it for every video, and you either highlight or change the color for the notes for that video. So please, please, please keep in mind that you are going to really need to have at least one application, a small paragraph for each video of what you thought, or individual notes about various concepts within that video. That's completely your call. Now, in terms of how you do this, you can either type the notes up. That's probably the easiest for many people. Type them up and then either highlight or change the color of the sections in which you are personally applying the information. Or if you're more of a handwritten note sort of person, you can do that as well, and then use images. So either scan what your notes say, or if you have a scanner, otherwise just take photos of your notes and then put them on a Word document, save it as a PDF, and submit it that way. That would probably be the easiest way for you to do it, because if you just load images into Blackboard, it may not work for you, and I may not even be able to read it. So please do it via Word or Google Docs or something similar to that if you're going to go that route. Otherwise, just type it and submit it that way, which is also quite simple. Now, when you're ready to submit, you click on the name of the assignment, Unit 1 Notes, and there's a couple of things that you'll see. There'll be a due date, so it'll tell you when it's due. Again, gives you the instructions, and then it provides you with a rubric. Click on View Rubric, and you'll be able to see how points are divided for this particular assignment. So it tells you exactly what I'm looking for, and then how the points are laid out for that rubric. Then if you scroll down, you can browse your computer and whatever you saved it under, whether it was typed or you took pictures and put it on a Word document. Browse your computer and then select where you want to get it from and upload it that way. So that should be pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You can add comments if you want, or you can add additional submission notes, and then you just click Submit and you are done. So that's how Unit 1 notes are done, as well as Unit 2 notes. Unit 1 discussion and Unit 2 discussion are going to be labeled here. So it'll say, question, what information from Unit 1 did you find interesting? How have you seen some of the content from Unit 1 in your own professional or personal experiences? So you're going to pull in some of the content that you found to be the most interesting. Maybe it was from the mindset book, maybe it was from something in the first part of the lecture or the second. Whichever one, you just click on that and you will be able to create a thread. And this gives you instructions. It's pretty straightforward. You just click Create Thread. And scroll down, and you can type your subject and then your response here. Don't do an attachment. You want to just type in the response here or copy and paste it in. And then you could submit it. So discussions do need to be done during that week, and then you want to respond to at least 2 people. So it gives you a place to do that. When you see responses, when you see posts, you'll have a spot to go ahead and take a look at that content and then make your comments to that person. Sorry, sometimes discussions make me go back through like this. But that's where the Unit 1 discussion or Unit 2 will be housed. And so you want substantial comments. You want to provide lots of thought, be very conscious about what you're saying, and really consider how to connect the topic to your personal or professional experiences. Then you'll have Unit 1 exam. Again, pretty straightforward. You do get 1 chance to take the exam, but you have 2 hours to take it. So give yourself that 2-hour time slot. Quick note, what students have told me in the past is that taking Unit 1 notes really well makes a huge difference in the discussion and in the exam, because you can just reference what you've already written and type that in there. So that's something to keep in mind if that's a path you want to take in terms of the note writing. When you're ready to take the exam, you click on the exam and it'll give you the instructions, and you will be able to click Begin and be ready to go to take that exam. Now keep in mind, like I said, it's 2 hours that you have to take the exam. Mostly true, false, but there's also other options as well. You have a essay-based question that will be available there. And then I think in exam 2, there's 2 smaller essay questions. So keep that in mind and give yourself the time and the resources you need in order to take that. And then finally, you have an application assessment. Now, these are where you're going to apply the film to your content from the unit. So in this case, you will click on that, and it should give you kind of an overview. Attached are the instructions, and you can see the instructions here. I'm going to open this up so you can kind of get a good idea. What you'll notice, I'm going to scroll down here so you can see everything. What you'll notice is that you have a series of short answers. You want to choose a number of these and answer them as clearly as you can. I think in this one you have to answer all of these. And you can just save this to your desktop and then start typing directly into it and then save it so you can upload this to me later. But you are going to want to cite the material, make sure you give a lot of detail, and then respond to each of these in various components so that all of it is easy for me to understand where you're coming from. So you're going to I'm going to ask you a question, I'm going to ask you to apply that to your film. You can also see the rubric for this one. So if you click on View Rubric, it will pop up here and it'll tell you for each question what I'm looking for and what is exceeds expectations, what is meets expectations and such. And each one is laid out that way. Okay? So that should get you ready to go, and this is the same process as the notes. You click on Browse My Computer and you upload it and you should be good to go. So hopefully you have a good idea of how to do everything for each unit, and each unit is very similar in nature. Going back real quick, there are additional materials available to you. For example, I might mention something in lecture that would be an activity or something you might find interesting, or a self-survey or what have you. If you click on that, those are available to you here, so you can get that information or test yourself if you want. The mindset activities, see what your mindset is, get an overview of what mindset is all about, see your personality type indicator, that kind of thing. So it might be of value to you to check those out, but otherwise everything is going to be identical for Unit 2, just new material. Okay? Hopefully that gets you good to go. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, let me know, and good luck on each unit.